The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's up, Octo Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. In the background here, I thought I'd take and show you a look of what the true Mr. Fisker is like in real life. He is that cool guy driving his $100,000 car that he made, and he's letting these kids down in LA what's called what we used to call hooky bobbing, where you just grab onto the car on your skateboard and it takes you up a hill. So I just thought that was a cool way to open this up. I just wanted to show that I pay attention to the little things like this. Okay, this shows a lot about Fisker's character. This is more of a personality thing than a sales thing. I think, you know, he just wanted to show he's cool, but I mean, this is something I bet you he's actually like, you know, in real life, which I think is pretty rad. While we're on the subject, let's talk about some more information I found about him. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, this is the guy who owns and started Fisker Car Company, the electric car company. The ticker on this is SPAQ, and he really started just ramping up his Twitter, like, I don't even, maybe just started like a couple weeks ago or something like that, but he barely has anyone he followed. But what I found is he was actually started following this guy, Trent Mell. He was the first Cobalt CEO, and then he also started following First Cobalt. Okay, so I was like, what is that? You know, so I start looking, and long story short, First Cobalt makes cobalt. What is cobalt? Cobalt is something that you need to make lithium-ion batteries. What do you use those for? You use those for electric vehicles as of current. Okay, now Fisker has been working on a special battery that he's got a bunch of patents on, and he's actually bought, you know, a bunch of guys and pulled them from other battery factories. But for now, he's going probably the Volkswagen route to make the batteries. But he is also a special advisor for First Cobalt. Okay? And he was quoted saying, "We are buying battery packs from a very large battery players. We don't take any risk there. We are also trying to collaborate with some of the big industries which have actually grown now into being able to deliver electric motors or whatever you need. Those things were not available when I first started out." So he got into some trouble back in the day with Fisker because he believed in this one car, batteries. And that company got so far behind and they couldn't even keep up, and then he couldn't even get the batteries, and then there was no one else to make them, and it was sucked because they were like custom made for him. So now it sounds like he is going to VW, but I just thought it was interesting that he is probably invested in First Cobalt. And I thought that might be a neat play, a supplemental play to the whole EV thing, because with no cobalt, there's no electronic vehicles. Okay, so and every electric vehicle out there needs cobalt right now. All right, and so this is a play that's, you know, super low right now. They're just starting to ramp up, so this is probably a good time to get in to that, and I'll go over that a little bit later. Importante, what I am buying next week, what I'm looking at. As for mining, if you didn't see my video, I think it was yesterday, it was on HYMC. All right, I'm buying some warrants. It's a huge, massive, monster gold and silver play in Nevada, my favorite jurisdiction for a mine. I'm going to be picking up some warrants on Monday. Okay. Also, I'm looking at, not 100% sure, but I am looking at buying some of that First Cobalt Corp too. At least maybe put a buy-in order above where it's at. That's probably what I'll do. I don't necessarily need to get in right now, but I want to be there for the ride up. All right. So I already bought, but I'm definitely keeping my eye out because still hardly anyone's talking about it, which means it's not cool yet, which means I probably bought it right. First ticker is HCAC. That is the Hennesey Corp. If you haven't seen a video, I did one on them a couple weeks ago. Check that out. I also did an emergency video the other day. They are hopefully going to announce who the electronic vehicle company is they are bringing to market. So they put out a paper like maybe like late last week, announcing that they are in contract, LOI contract with an electronic vehicle company. Okay, so this is going to be huge, and I'm very excited to see how this baby plays. The next one, which is absolutely huge too, DMYT. I've been talking about them for a couple weeks. If you don't know, the guys running that are big on mobile applications and games, and they're good on celebrity endorsement stuff. They did some stuff with Kim Kardashian and all that, so they know how to hype. It's great. They're also techie and super smart. They are based out of Las Vegas. Long story short, they Well, they didn't, but there is a rumor that is being published around that they are in the mix with a company called Rush Street. And what they are is basically the mobile platform version of casinos, okay? Mostly kind of like East Coasty casino guys, but they've got tons of like real branded, regular gambling, like, blackjack or poker or whatever. But they've also got a lot of sport plays that they've already got contracted in, and, so football and all that. And so to me, like, this one is kind of going to be a good mix between like the Golden Nugget, the LCA. Okay, I still got some LCA stock, and then DraftKings, which is pretty much all sports. Yeah, so this DMYT is almost confirmed, hopefully going to be confirmed next week that is a legit rumor. And if so, this thing is going to be crazy. Okay, if you don't believe me, go look at how DraftKings did. Golden Nugget, the LCA, hasn't been doing too well, but I think the long-term wheels on that one are going to be spinning a lot faster once the regular market, the non-SPAC market, gets a hold of it and realizes, whoa, the Golden Nugget, are you kidding me? Okay. Lots of long-term investors, I think, will be popping on that. So the maybe buying list for next week, the maybe. CFFA, I've still been on the fence for these guys. I heard, there's a rumor going around, and I don't even think there's any merit on it. It's just pure speculation. Some things kind of add up, like the numbers and maybe the category they're surfing towards, but the deal is people are saying they might they might merge with Sophie. Okay, and when I first looked up Sophie, I looked it up real quick, and the first thing I saw is they do mortgages, and they do like loans for school and reconsolidation loans and stuff. And I was like, not my play. I'm out of that. Don't even care. Move on to the next one. Okay, I should investigate a little bit more, but come to find out, randomly today, because I was looking up a bunch of cryptocurrency stuff because I'm doing a video on that for y'all, but they popped up when I was looking for cryptocurrency apps, and I was like, wow, you can buy cryptocurrency through Sophie. And after I dove in just a second or two, I realized Sophie's massive. Like, they do all sorts of stuff like that. You can trade regular stocks, it holds money, you can move money and wire money, you can buy cryptocurrency with it. You can buy Bitcoin with it. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. I don't like the whole mortgage industry right now. It's not where I want to be. But all that other stuff, I was like, that's actually pretty cool. So that is something, though, I would still never want to hold long term. But at least I think that if a merger were to be announced with any of these SPACs, that Sophie would be it. I think it's going to get a good pop because Sophie is kind of cool. Okay, there's lots of young 20-ish people that know about Sophie and are probably using it and probably have a loan or two or move money through it or whatever. So if it's already got that hype at that means it's already there. The branding is what I'm big on. So if a announcement or a rumor comes out, a definitive rumor that was actually sounds a little bit better than just pure speculation, I'll probably go ahead and pick up some SCFFA. So watch that. And obviously I will always keep y'all up to date and try to be the first one. So far we've been the first one on, I think, the 3 major announcements that have come out in the past 3 weeks. So subscribe if you haven't and hit that bell. That way you are first in line to get those cheap tickets. All right. As for options, I've actually got some Workhorse. Okay, Workhorses are the little electric ice cream truck looking things that are hopefully going to be helping out like the United States Postal Service and all sorts of little service industry companies. They're really cool. They're already built. It's an awesome company. They also do some drone stuff, really rad. Anyways, why I'm playing this one mainly is because they submitted a contract to United States Postal Service, which got billions from the government, that they are going to be hooking up with an electronic vehicle company. And there are other businesses, electronic vehicle companies, that did submit for this contract. But in my eyes, looking at it from their perspective, I think Workhorse would be the best option by far. And so I am leaning towards more convinced that USPS is most likely going to either 100% choose Workhorse, or at least they can actually divide it. So they can say, okay, we're going to buy 30% of our trucks from Workhorse and 70 from here, or whatever they want to do. But I think no matter what, Workhorse is going to get some. Once that USPS contract is announced, who knows when that will be announced, hopefully sooner than later. They just took in and finalized the orders, I think, last week. So they've only had the papers and the contracts for about a week. Who knows how long it'll take them? I'm going to guess under a month, but you never know nowadays. It could take them 6 months to fully decide. But in big corporate things like that, it could take up to a month. But I think that they're already winning definitively, knowing regardless. So just watch for Workhorse. I think I'm going to buy. I already have some calls on it. I think I'm going to buy some more calls on options. All right. Boy, we got... This coming week is going to be pretty awesome, I think. Okay, pretty crazy. Check this out. On Tuesday, we've got McDonald's, eBay, Starbucks, and Visa, and that's just to name a few that are releasing quarterly statements. Okay, so this can either go a couple ways. It can go, they all come out and said, "Oh, we took a major loss," and the market sees that and says, "Sell everything. The market's going to tank," or they could say they took a loss and the market says, "Great, let's keep buying." Or they could come out and say, "Hey, we're actually doing all right, and the economy's doing good, and sales are up." And it can still react however the market's going to react, but chances are a lot of these might be okay. McDonald's, I think is still going to be hurting a little bit. eBay, I'm sure, is actually doing pretty darn good. Starbucks probably hurting. Visa, I'm sure they've been fine. Visa, MasterCard are probably one of the coolest, safest plays out there. Your middleman for all money transactions. How cool is that? They basically created their own dollar if you think about it. Moving on to Wednesday. 2 o'clock on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Watch this, okay? I usually watch this live, and you can usually see you can watch like the S&P 500. It'll react live if they say, because the Fed's coming out and doing their what they call FOMC, and that's the Federal Open Market Committee. They are going to do the actual definitive description of this is a committee within the Federal Reserve System is charged under the United States law with overseeing the nation's open market operations. This Federal Reserve Committee makes key decisions about interest rates and the growth of the United States money supply. So this is where they come out and they're like, "Well, we're trying, everything's okay, but it could be better." But I think the numbers play a lot, but you can tell the demeanor of them. And I've even noticed, if they're kind of down, like, "Well, I don't, we're trying, but things are not really looking good," SP goes down. Okay. So hopefully he drinks Red Bull before this or something. And at least is positive. It's like, "Yeah, we're doing fantastic." Or hopefully they come out and say, "Hey, is there going to be a new stimulus plan or not? And if there is, how much?" Okay. Not getting into that too much, but they're actually not necessarily printing money. They've actually barely spent any of it. Okay, all those trillions of dollars, they've only spent, I think, like 20 or 30% of it. Okay, most of the buying that's been going on has not been from that. That's just the mental game that this whole thing has been played. Okay, I don't care how it goes up as long as stuff stays in the bull market. Okay, whether it's just a mental game they're playing or not. Okay, but regardless, it's something to pay attention to. Wednesday, 2 o'clock. All right, gotta watch it. Now, July 30th on Thursday is the earnings extravaganza day. Okay. Amazon is announcing, Apple, Google, MasterCard, Facebook, and PayPal. Y'all heard of them before? Okay. This is major. I think last quarter Amazon kind of just rode kind of even, which is all right. Apple's probably going to go down. Google possibly down because they're not making as much on ad revenue right now. MasterCard I think will be fine. Facebook's probably going down because remember everyone started revolting against them. PayPal will probably be fine, so kind of upward, kind of down, but these are all massive, massive players, and a lot of this is what's making up the market right now. So if these guys come out with super bad results, it's not looking too good, but still the market can react how it wants, but pay attention to these dates, okay? We've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to take a look at. Let's dive into some charts. All right, let's take a look at actually the first Cobalt, which is that Fisker Cobalt play we're talking about for the lithium-ion batteries. This thing looks like terrible, right? They used to trade around $1.20. They just dumped. I don't know the drama that happened or whatever happened here, but they've basically been riding around like 12-ish cents for a long time. years. Okay. Now they're currently sitting at, March they took their dive like everyone else. They got down to like 6 cents. Okay, 6 to 7 cents. All right. Now they're at 10 cents. I might, like I said, I might just put a buy in. Like I don't know, probably right here, around 13.5 cents. Just to try to catch it if for some reason it does skyrocket out. Maybe they come out, or maybe Volkswagen's going to announce that they are pulling a lot of their cobalt from them. Okay, maybe Volkswagen is the deal, and maybe Mr. Henry Fisker helped get that. That's something that I want to be tagging on the way up to ride on that surf terrain. Okay. Speaking of Fisker, let's take a look at the SPAQ, the Spartans here. Let's break down the chart. Let's get it down to a 30 minute so we can maybe see what's going on a little bit better. So, we ended up breaking below this red that we had signed up for here, which is not good. But what we ended up doing is hitting this big gap line here. This gap line is from the initial run up. There's a massive gap. It basically came down, gapped down, which was terrible, to like $3, but it tagged it, and guess what? It smacked it, went right back up. So now what's stopping us? Nothing until we get to about 4. So chances are, next week we should try to test 4. Still don't know, no crystal ball, but I'm hoping to hit 4, and past 4, it's pretty much skied out till 6. So keep an eye on this. The good thing is we stayed above this 3. If it creeps back down and goes below the 3, that's not good. Okay. It might come down and try to tag it, but that looks like it's definitively above it. And it kind of rode just above this other trend line here. So I think we're going to stay above the 346 for next week. Okay. QQQ, this is the main tech boys. Okay. Now we had some red going on. In fact, we had a nasty gap, which I pointed out last week. We had this nasty gap. We actually had 2 consecutive red days, which hasn't happened for a long time. Okay, well, since like into June or something. But look where it tagged. The exact line we already had up. You see this? It literally said, see? Boom! Got flicked right back up, flap, and went back up. Guess what? We're still surfing the massive channel here. Whatever, man. We're in the channel. As long as we stay in it, we're fine. It should be going up. We'll see though. We'll see with all these earnings come out, what's going to happen, right? Because the big tech are announcing this week, so watch it. If they get some decent news, we're probably gonna be fine to go back up. If it's terrible news, it could break. So if we get down to, let's say, 250, okay, it's time to tighten up those stop losses, stop sells, okay. And buckle up, because it could come down to try to tag, even 237. We got another huge line, but just watch that, about 250. We don't want to get to 250. Well, as long as we can stay above, 251, yeah, we're good to go. So we wanted to SPY. How's that looking? So again, we tagged this trend line perfectly here back in June 25th. Yeah, boom, tagged it, rode up, basically tagged it again. Still definitely not healthy looking the past couple days. We got some shaky boots going on, but again, it's kind of tagged. It's actually trying to do a consolidation a little bit, but we will see. We're kind of teetering along right now, So kind of be wary, I mean, really, you shouldn't be investing too much in any, especially long-term anything right now until I'd wait, until these earnings come out for the big tech. In the beginning and mid of next week here, because again, if those come out and are bad, the things that are clutching the market up the most, if those come out and are bad, that's not good, because those are the big things that are holding this puppy up. But regardless, we did still break above this massive line here, sitting at 322. So if we can actually get above 322 again and get to 323, it's probably going to be straight bull from there. But watch it. Just stay cautious and walk on thin ice this week until we see what happens with the earnings and all that. Parabolic silver it is, okay? Take a look at this massive swing. Yeah, how long was this? In 1 week, it went up. Grab the trusted ruler here. About 16%. That's big for silver, okay? 17% in 1 week. Pretty parabolic, you know. This consolidation here is good looking, okay? Consolidation is good. You know, you might even see another breakdown to back to 21,357 again to hit this. But we did blast through this massive line at 21,217, okay? And we just sliced right through it, kablowie, okay? So we might come back down and try to test that again. As long as it stays above that, though, we should be fine for more bull, okay? It's going up. Kind of looks like it's doing a cup and handle pattern here where it kind of dips in. It might come down a little bit, create a handle, and then if it hits that, it should smack and go all the way back up to bull. Regardless, though, this is insanely good looking for silver. I might wait a little bit before, you know, if you're not into anything silver or any miners yet, you might want to keep your eye on this, you know, for a couple days, see what happens Monday, and just watch it. But this consolidation right here is healthy because we don't want it to just keep skying for week after 2 weeks straight, because then you're going to get parabolic up, you're going to get parabolic down, okay? We'd rather have it come up a little bit and consolidate, which is healthy, and then go up a little bit more, consolidate healthy, you know. So I like seeing this. That's good consolidation. Let's take a look at gold. Granddaddy is actually broken through 1915. We got a huge line here. Unreal. It's good and healthy. Look at that. Let's zoom out 5 year. Let's see where we're at. Let's go all time. Look at that. All time highs. Unreal. History in the making, folks. Look at that, from 1998 back in 2011 was the last time it was this high. And look at this massive U we got. Unreal. Just surf this nice channel we had putting out, you know, almost perfectly. It broke out of the green. See this? It broke out of the green, and now it's just north, but it's sitting right on that line. So we want to see it get above there for sure. You know, so if we can see this get, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1930-ish, we're pretty much confirmed in bull market at that point, because we're over all-time highs, just screaming. Unreal. Let's take a look at the dollar. The mighty American dollar. Look at that. Does that look healthy to you? No? That looks terrible, right? Would you want to invest in that? I wouldn't, you know. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know, so since, you know, June 30th has just been tanking. We're down to 94 bucks. Again, as long as this keeps going down, silver and gold are going to keep going up. But remember, silver has a way more parabolic move to make than gold historically. Gold's sitting at all-time highs, and silver's got like 4x more to go, over 4 times more to go to even hit its all-time highs. So, you know, silver would be the better play for gold and silver if you're going to get into something right now. But watch it. Are there any other plays you want me to take a look at maybe for tomorrow's video? Put them down in the comments. I really appreciate everyone. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell. That way you get the notification. Thanks again. I hope everyone has a good rest of Sunday night.